Ooh, echo in here, isn't there? Let me fix that. 2 seconds. Hello, hello. Test, test, test. And we're live. Welcome, everyone. No, wrong sound effect. I'm still getting used to the board, everyone. Bear with me. We're cheering, we're cheering. Welcome, welcome. So, this is the first broadcast from the Nothing channel. I have to say, it's been a long road to even get to the first broadcast. It takes time, these things, but I think we're there. The idea of this channel is to broadcast regularly. We are going to get some exciting stuff going. As you can see, we've already got these exciting sound effects. And I mean, if that's not enough to tune in regularly, I don't know what is. But you will see a cast of familiar faces dotted around. They'll be coming regularly. I've got a group of friends, really good, talented group of friends, so they'll be popping in to speak to us about various things. So that's something to look forward to as well. We've got, due to COVID, obviously there's certain restrictions. But what I want to say, and this is important, everyone, this is important more than anything. This channel will not mention the pandemic or COVID again. Ever. Ever. Thank you. Thank you. And I mean that. No, that's enough. That's enough. So yeah, we're not going to talk about that shit. It's going to be a place to escape all that, hopefully. So we've got some good stuff planned. So let's have a look. So yeah, like I said, I've been setting up this channel for a long time. Just got off the ground, and I can tell you that in the testing period, I accidentally masturbated on this stream. I apologise for anyone who saw that. It won't happen again, I promise you. That will be the one and only time, and I'm sorry for those that saw it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we're just gonna chat and hang out. It's based on my interest mainly, so it's gonna be like films and gaming and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's just a hangout really, and we're gonna have a good time with it. So I hope you are too. So what I want to talk about now is we've been playing recently. Me and my group of friends. We've got Barry and we've got Muzzy that I play with mainly, and we've been playing Nazi Zombies. Oh, what a roller coaster of emotions Nazi Zombies can be. Um, we've been playing Derice, which is the fourth map pack, I believe, on World at War, and that by far is the best. I'm telling you, the best zombie map I think out there, just based on like the spacing, and it's the perfect size and to get sort of. It's difficult, but not too difficult that you can't survive with the good skill set. So that's why I think it's the best. It's the right size. You can trap the zombies by teleporting around. Those in the know will know that. You know what I'm saying? You'll know. You'll know what I'm talking about. But there's a trick where you can actually train them around, but I won't bore you with the details. But yeah, that is a spectacular zombie map. Other honourable mentions. Oh, in fact, I'm gonna say dishonourable mention, and you'll see why. 5 on Black Ops 1. 5 on Black Ops 1 was a terrible, terrible map. If it's not that stupid wanker who's coming to steal your fucking guns, it's the crawling pieces of shit mounding the walls and jumping down on you. It's ridiculous. There's nowhere to go. You can't find the perks. I mean, it costs you a bomb to even get to box. It's ridiculous, let's be honest. It's a gimmick. The presidents are the gimmick. You're in the Pentagon, that's the gimmick. We all. Hello, James Threlfall. Thanks for joining us. It is fucking ridiculous. It's the hardest one by far. Ridiculous. So, what else have we been playing? The first one on Black Ops though is alright. The Kino de Toten, that's like in a theatre. And there's teleporters in that as well. So that's pretty good. That's a decent size as well. Oh, I've just had a text in. Let's have a look. Better not be a cigarette. It's not a cigarette. Thank you for your concern. So let's have a look on the agenda, mate. We've got loads to talk about today. Yeah, the most underrated. When I had a look, and when we were looking into going on zombies, people were slating the bottom of most lists, as it were, because there's like 20 odd to 30, I think, zombie maps now to date. But the ones that were getting slated and they were always at the bottom was Transit. Transit is amazingly detailed. It's massive. You can't deny that the detail in it's pretty impressive. But it's more, I think what puts people off is its difficulty. It's impossible to get to like your wave 30s and 40s. There's nowhere to fucking go. There's nowhere to go. And if you play on your own, it's really, really scary. Oh no! That's what I would like when I played it on my own. That again for the audience one more time. Oh no! That was an accurate representation. One more time. Oh no! Zombies! So don't play it alone. Play it with friends. Stay safe out there, kids. You've got to keep your eye on each other's backs out there. You really do. Now, when my brother's got Cold War, so I jumped on that zombies, and they've changed it a lot. I mean, we all know the dilemma of the box weapons. You know, do we swap it for the other? Do we not? Not on this one, mate. You swap your weapon for the box weapon, it drops your existing weapon on the ground. So if you're not too happy about the weapon, but it's better than your man to your left, or woman, or woman. Thank you, thank you. Um, to your left, they can pick up your weapon that you've just had. It's brilliant. So that, but there's also big mean bosses on that one. But it's also more adds to the fun, I suppose. Adds to the fun. They're bringing out backpacks left, right, and centre for that one. It seems like, to be honest with you. But staying on the video game topic, I've decided and deliberated the greatest video game publisher going. Can I get a drum roll? Not quite. I'm still learning the equipment. We'll get a drum roll soon, I'm sure, but this will have to do for a drum roll. Rockstar. Yeah? You with me? It's gotta be. Any monkey news? Yeah, I could get some monkey news up, I'm sure. In homage to Ricky Gervais XFM. Oh, that is, to me, probably the reason I want to do this. Um, they are just an inspiration. Between them and Howard Stern are probably why I want to do this, to be honest. It's ingenious broadcasting what they do. You can listen to ours, as James Threlfall knows. We've bonded over that many times. You can listen to XFM on YouTube, and if you haven't already, it's brilliant. And if you're a fan of Ricky Gervais' show, oh my god, it's definitely for you. Absolutely brilliant, and there's no lack of content. There's like countless hours, hundreds of hours of material there on YouTube. So catch it, and that's in reference to that is Monkey News. I'm sure you're all aware if you're a fan of Ricky Gervais that Monkey News was a big staple of the show, quite rightly too. Quite rightly too. But yeah, back to Rockstar. They were, in my opinion, they house the best games every time they release a new title, to be honest. I think Red Dead Redemption 2, controversial opinion alert, everyone. Watch out for this one, it's coming at you. Red Dead Redemption 2 is the greatest video game made to date. Yep, bring on the flack. Bring on the flack. That's what I believe. I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and then I picked up the newest Far Cry, which was Far Cry 5 at the time, I believe. And there was absolutely no comparison to the two. The open world, you can literally chat to anyone, any NPC, making it so immersive. you get completely carried away down a rabbit hole there. I actually spawned. I've written a script as well, and it was a western because I was so engrossed in the world. So it's completely encompassing, so vast as well, and talk about detail. I remember I was climbing a rock with my, climbing up a mountain, and on my horse, and the horse kicked a rock down, and it hit another rock. I know, I couldn't believe it either. So it hit another rock that started rolling down. I mean, the mechanics and physics, they're unparalleled. They're not around in any other game, any other free roam game. Certainly not. I mean, you take like a free roam game like Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs is a cute franchise compared to GTA and Red Dead. It just is. It's never gonna be that unless I think what Watch Dogs do is they overpromise based on that. They overpromise and underdeliver on a lot of the things that they promise. Entertaining though, nonetheless. I like Watchdog games, but I just think they can't they can't live up to what they're promising sometimes. Oh, just go on to our sponsor is Bar Lemonade. I get nothing. Wait, no, that's scary. There we go. That's for the sponsor. The sound effects will get smoother, I promise. Thank you, Bar. That burp was brought to you by Bar Lemonade. Bar. When you drink it, instead of the I'm sure you understood that. The smarter ones in the audience will understand that one. Just heard a good joke, actually. See if you can understand this. It's not for everyone. That's why they're not allowed. They're not allowed tablets in the jungle because the parrots eat them all. Because the parrots eat them all. Parrots eat them all. I've just explained it, so you can't really miss it. That delivery was butchered, much like my lockdown haircut. It don't look too bad from this distance, but trust me, it is. It is. So yeah, it's Red Dead Redemption 2 is the top of the list for me by far. It is by far the top of the list. And GTA 5. What can you compare GTA 5 to? I mean, it's getting released on 3 different generations of console. For crying out loud, 2 was impressive enough. Never mind living on to 3. You just don't expect it. So this is going to be a regular broadcast. It's going to be a chilled vibe, as you can probably already tell. If you've noticed the Back to the Future poster behind me, I broadcast from a loft. I've decorated it all out for the colour scheme of the channel. Probably gone a bit OCD with it, to be honest, but I think it works. Got to be all in on this shit, otherwise it won't pay off. So yeah, this will be a regular broadcast followed by a YouTube channel these um, clipping these streams up and cutting them down and making them smoother for YouTube content and also additional YouTube content away from this. So I'm looking forward to it. I really am. So up next on the big hot topics list is this new segment I like to call One to Watch. Calm down, everyone. Calm down in the back. They refuse. They refuse to calm down in the back. They're going again. I mean, I've never had an audience so excited in my entire life. Ever. So the segment is One to Watch. They like that title. They really do. Right, One to Watch is basically a film that I've seen recently that I would recommend to you, undoubtedly. And I will not steer you wrong with okay, semi-okay films. I won't even mention them. They shouldn't be in your head. You don't need to know if a film's okay. You need to know if a film's brilliant or not. But I'm just going to highlight the brilliant ones. Don't waste your time. You don't waste my time. I won't waste yours. And that's how we'll run this fucker. Alright? Thank you. So the one to watch recently is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And most of you will be saying, That film's been out a while. Well, fuck you. I saw it recently. All right. So that's one to watch. You'd think the dimensions and things that in the trailers that we saw would be confusing to a point, but it works really well. So don't judge it before you've seen it. All right. That's all I've got to say on the matter. So give it a watch. It's a good one. Speaking of different dimensions of Spider-Man as well, it was recently rumoured that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire would be in the third, I think it's called No Way Home. It's been announced now as a Spider-Man thing. Better just research that before I spout bollocks about it. No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home announced. Yes, right. So it was meant to have Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Obviously, we know they've previously done the Sony franchises, Tobey Maguire being the first. Was good. Spider-Man 1 and 2 in his franchise. 3, I think everyone rolls their eyes and forgets about that one. I don't think it was bad for a kid's film. So it's like it did actually have a lot in it, but probably too much, and rightly so. There's like fucking 4 villains. Who needs that? You've got Sandman, Venom, there's another one in there. Yeah, Green Goblin, but James Franco's version, Silver Goblin, or I can't even remember. But obviously Doc Ock in the Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is like renowned as one of the best superhero sequels out there, and probably justified as well. To be honest, it's brilliant. There's a lot of great scenes in that. The subway scene, fuck, everyone knows that. And then you've got Andrew Garfield, who, to me, was just too good looking, quite frankly. But really good performance. I believed him as Peter Parker, so that's the main thing. But it was again, it looked more closer to 30 than someone in high school, which Tom Holland has brought people. The hardcore Marvel fans would say Tom Holland is a more accurate representation of Spider-Man in the original comics because he is so much younger. But Tom Holland went on Jimmy Kimmel recently and basically shut down the rumors, as it were. So I was disappointed at that. But then he went on some tangent, which was really bizarre, about how he was a bit disappointed that they don't tell him anything. Because he feels like he's proved himself now. But it seemed like he was trying to be serious about it. Now, for me, he's just he's covering something up there, to be honest. He said he read the script and it'd be pretty hard for him to hide it from it, and they don't tell me stuff anyways, and he's pissed off. It seemed like he was deflecting. I think it's going to happen. It should happen. That would be amazing. Oh, imagine that. 3 generations of Spider-Man all in one film. Bar lemonade, everyone. You say bar instead of bar. The audience loves. They're our sponsors, so the audience loves bar lemonade. Yep. I know. Calm down, will you? It's crazy talk. So, yeah, I think that Tom Holland is bullshitting about that, to be honest. In my opinion, it just seemed like he were overcompensating where he was saying stuff that didn't really need to be said. We believed him in the first place, and then he went over it, and I was like, seems strange that you'd say all that. Do you agree? Thank you, everyone. So we've highlighted Red Dead Redemption 2 as the best game ever. We've said Rockstar is the best publisher ever. But what is one to play recently? Is there a new one? I've got Game Pass, so I've just recently had a look. And I can tell you what to avoid. Sims 4 on Xbox. It is not transferable. It is shit. You've still got the cursor mechanic, but it's awful with a controller. Absolutely awful. I hated it. Mind you, what am I doing playing Sims at my age, to be honest? It's more for... That's embarrassing, actually. But I remember Sims 2, I'd type in the Rosebud cheat, and that gave you $1,000. And what you couldn't do with $1,000, or I couldn't do, I made that stretch. I'd build a nice extension on house for for a couple grand. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I was really really efficient with the spending on Sims. You should have seen me. It was amazing. There was no stopping me actually. There was no stopping me at all. So I've got a recent poll that I went through as well. One sec, you're gonna absolutely love this. Love this. So this is a picture that someone's done of God tier, royalty tier, and take it or leave it, or the Adam Sandler tier. They've put, which is great. Yeah. So it's time for Rate That Candy. Rate that candy, everyone. Okay, so this person's got in God tier a picnic. For those of you who don't know what a picnic is, this might be a dated list to be honest. So we'll forget picnic. We'll go to the ones out there. I disagree with this God tier absolutely, completely, and wholeheartedly, and you'll see why. In the God tier, she's got Turkish delight and a chomp. A chomp. A chomp's a fucking poor man's curly whirly, as far as I'm concerned. If I'm thinking about the right thing. I mean, that's ridiculous. Royalty tier, Snickers, Twix, oh, and the aforementioned Curly Whirly. Now, I'd put Snickers God tier, personally. I'm a big fan of that nut combo. The nut nougat really buzzes me in the right ways, I'll be honest. Now, the Twix can stay middle of the road for me. Maybe even take it or leave it, to be honest, with the Twix. They're great. They're good. They're a nice, tasty snack. But I think the thing is, with stuff like that, my mum's got them as biscuits for years. So the novelty's worn off for a Twix for me. It's worn off. I'm not about it. You know, it's one of them. It's one of them. You know, if you've had it all your life, the novelty wears off. It's like I'll never drink cider again because I threw up on it and I can't stand the stench. That's not really the same, is it? At all. Not really the same at all, that. Back to the drawing board with that one. Now, on the Adam Sandler tier, back to the list, we have Kit Kat. It's an underrated thing for me as a Kit Kat, to be honest. And the thing is, with it's if it was a Kit Kat chunky, I'd be definitely saying no, not on. But because it's a regular four pronged Kit Kat, yeah, it's fine to stay and take it or leave it for me. I can live with that. But Kit Kat chunky, that's going up, and as well any sort of white Kit Kat chunky, they're brilliant as well. I've even had a pink one that I loved. Where did they go? My lord. So okay, we're on the Adam Sandler tier still, so let's have a look. Crunchy. What? Crunchy? Take it or leave it. A crunchy is a light delight as far as I'm concerned. So that deserves its own category above God tier. It's a little slice of heaven, a honeycomb heaven. Don't give me that shit about crunchy. Come on, you can't. It's not on. The kids love a crunchy. Kids, I've got crunchy in the boot of my car. Come round. No, I didn't mean it like that. Don't take it like that. Now, take it or leave it. There's a Mars in the take it or leave it section, which, to be honest, I can list. So I'm going to go through some. I can live with the Mars being on take it or leave it. So let's have a look at some others. Fudge. Where would we put a fudge then? Anyone in chat want to put a fudge? God tier, middle tier, or Adam Sandler tier? Dun 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 dun. God tier. God tier. Ow. God tier. Sorry. God tier. I'm innocent. The fudge is amazing. The taste sensation that explodes in your mouth when you're chewing that soft fudge is spectacular. And the thing about it is, if you're quick, your brain doesn't realise you've had 55 of them without saying you've got no room left. So you can ram a good amount in there. And that's what I'm about, folks. It's quantity. It's quantity. I think I should do like a food challenge on this channel. Anyway, but yeah, I probably will. It's impending. Because I love a scran! Absolutely love a scran. Buffets. The Chinese man at the counter goes back to his wife and says, "We're not eating for another month. Marcus is here." They cry around a bowl of rice, and I deliver my plate of bones in the back to them, and they can suck on the marrow, but that's all they've got. That's all they've got. Sucking on my leftover bone. It's a sad life, really, for them, for the Chengs. Sad life. Thank you. Shout out to the Chengs. So, this is like a bit of an introduction, to be honest with you, just to what the channel's gonna be. We're gonna have a laugh, but it's more of a chilled out thing, as I'm sure you've got. When all this shit's over, we'll get some guests in. I want to do a regular film review type. Speaking of, I'll do a bit of a film top up now because I watched. I'm well into films. I watched quite a few. And The Vanished on Netflix is batshit mental. It's absolutely crazy. It's a story about they go on holiday on a camping vacation because they're American. A man, his wife, and their daughter, young daughter. So they get there. There's some shady characters around. There's a groundskeeper that's looking at them funny, setting up. That's a bit weird. There's a nice couple that move in next door. The wife and him sort of have a little moment. The wife and the wife from the other family with the husband from the main family, they have a little bit of a moment, but it's nothing really. I'll probably forget a lot of this, so anyway, I'll try not to ruin stuff. But basically, everything goes wrong that could possibly go wrong. They end up bumping heads with the owner of the camp site that ends up being this leader in this crazy web of crime. The neighbours are into some weird stuff. The groundskeeper, he's into some weird stuff. And it's all meant to transpire over the course of like 5 to 7 days. And it's absolutely mental. It's like, how are you meant to believe that all this shit is going down in the same week? And then the twist at the end, of course, is I feel like it took the piss out of me, to be honest. I feel like it took the royal piss. And I'm not just saying that. It did, to be honest. I feel like it was cheap, if you ask me. Did I see it coming? I'm embarrassed to say no. Because every reviewer online did guess it in the first 20 minutes. I knew something was wrong. Something wasn't right with the couple. I knew that for sure. And yeah, something was off throughout. So I'd give it a miss. I'd give it 2 star. Don't fucking bother. Don't fucking bother. At all. At all. Don't bother. I'll tell you what's gone downhill for me as well in the world of television. The Simpsons. and Family Guy and things like that. You know, it's the censorship's gone crazy. It's Do you know what? The Simpsons will continue to be classic and loved and by so many. It's been on for 30 plus years, is it now? Maybe even longer. Um, lemonade. Just put the lid back on my bar lemonade. Bar lemonade. Thank you. Thank you. That's why they pay me the big bucks. So yeah, television. The Simpsons will continue. Family Guy's gone downhill because they can't get away with the stuff they were, but they do try. South Park lives by its own rules, and it always has. I think that's what's sustained it as being the most integral. Um, and Rick and Morty, stuff like that. That's original and funny and stuff that no one's seen. But my God, to research that Spider-Man thing, I watched the Jimmy Kimmel interview, and I consider Jimmy quite alright at it, but he's not. I don't find him. He's got better, but for years I thought, Jesus, it's shit. It's not live. It's called Jimmy Kimmel Live. It's not live. But American talk shows are so terrible. They really are. Like you can't. Honestly, you cannot sit. I cannot sit through. They're so dampened and they're so fake and they're so nervous and they're so fake smiles and nods and yeah. Did you enjoy doing this movie? Yeah, she was great. She was great. When this one, I'll tell you. You have any trouble getting to the set ever, or at any point during the shoot? Yeah. Well, this one time my alarm didn't go off in time, and I I set off late, and the director, well, he wasn't happy, but I had stopped and got him a donut, and that seemed to calm him down. Yeah, that's funny. Wow, that sounds great. That sounds great. So the new movie comes out on my machine. Did you have fun shooting this? Oh yeah, it was great. I loved it. Everyone was great on the movie, and I had a great time. You'll really enjoy the picture. Great. I'm sure we'll all love it. All right, it's coming out April 3rd. It's bye. And then the audience applause. They walk out, and then the next one comes on, and they're just as dull. And now music from Haim. They'll come on. But the contrast to that is, let's not forget, I'm talking about American chat shows here. British talk show hosts have my utmost respect. Clap for them now. Thank you. You're not clapping. Again. Thanks. Lemonade. So I'm gonna have a quick chat about the British talk shows with you now. This is top 3 British chat show hosts. Okay, so we're going to go third to first. And believe it or not, I have thought about this. Coming in at number 3. There are several. Not many as talented as these 3, though. 3. Jonathan Ross started in radio, worked his way up journalism into film critic status, and then was on the BBC with Friday Night with Jonathan Ross for years, and then got his own show on ITV that still runs to this day. He's sharp. He gets away with more than most because he's cheeky. And you can tell he's got good relationships with celebrities. He knows how to communicate with them. So it works out for a good interview. Most of the time. Sometimes, like any, there's hiccups. Coming in at number 2. Sorry. Let's say it for Jonathan Ross. Alan Carr is number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Alan Carr. Alan is quick-witted, hysterically funny, and so true to himself. No matter who he's talking to, he is so quick and really funny with them. But having said that, you can tell um, when it's not going right. It's not going quite right. You can tell he gets awkward like them. But he's still funny when he does it. He started on the Friday. I used to watch the Friday Night Project with him and Justin Lee Collins. It then went to the Sunday Night Project, I believe. Or that might be the other way around. I've got a feeling it went from Friday to Sunday. Anyway, I love that show. He did this thing with his glasses where he'd dress up every week. This was one of the most pointless jokes ever, but I loved it. He'd be dressed up as like full Kylie Minogue or whatever, and he'd come out and go, "It's me, Alan." Like it wasn't obvious it was him, so I love that. But yeah, I might be a bit biased because of that, but I do believe he's one of the sharpest and best. That I think it's the right roles for him, and there's not many stand-up comedians that are right for it. But obviously, stand-up is hysterical as well. Otherwise, he wouldn't have got to this stage. Number 1. We'll get my shitty drum roll going again. Graham Norton. Come on, you can do better than that. Thank you. By the way, I don't have a bunch of children here against their will, contrary to popular belief. That's not what's happening here. We're a friendly channel, and that's it. I won't hear another word about it. Thank you. And that's it now. Don't want to hear it. Thank you. Thanks. You get left in the dust. If I stuck by you, you're the sunflower. I see your love will never be too much. And you get left in the dust. If I stuck by you, you're the sunflower. Love will never be too much. That's how we roll here on the Nothing Channel. So let's tell you a bit about what I want to branch out and do. Because it's going to be off the hook. I'm going to have a YouTube channel. We're going to make some serious moves here. We're going to have our own merch. Groundbreaking, I know. But nah, I'm not going to do merch. Fuck that. I feel like with merch stores, they can rip off the audience too much. If I were to do merch, I'd do one piece of merch and have it limited edition, and that's it. I wouldn't rinse the audience for more than it were worth. They could probably resell it for more, but then that's the point as well. I don't want to avoid that because they're scoundrels, the people who do that. Tickets and things, the ticket scoundrels. We all know them. We all know what they're about as well. Mugs they are. Absolute mugs. Travesty. It's a travesty. It really is. All right, so guys, we've done a little broadcast there. I think it's went relatively well. We'll have a laugh about it. We'll sort it out. We'll have a good giggle about stuff later on. It'll get better and better. The lighting will get better and better in here. It's a surprisingly bright day here from what we used to. The weather. I'm now a weatherman as well. You're getting it all. But I'll do a quick wrap up of the news, and then I think we'll dart. So the story. We're not going to talk about anything serious, of course. Here, we're not going to talk about anything serious. We're going to talk about this thing I saw on Cosmos, because we're not going to talk about the Kardashians. We're not going to talk about reality TV. Although Kim Kardashian is getting divorced from Kanye. Shit, it just slipped out. I promise. That is interesting though. It's the like $1 billion breakup. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. Down, dog. Down, doggy. Get down. Titan. Saturn has so many moons. Saturn has the most moons of any planet in our solar system. Um, because at the end of the day, a moon is like a rock that orbits it, essentially. And there's so many. Um, but Titan, I don't know whether it's one of the biggest or the biggest of Saturn's moons. And on that planet, it was on Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson. But on that planet, the chemical properties of methane actually change on that planet, and they become a liquid. And there's literal lakes of methane, which, as we know, is a gas on our planet, but it's actually a liquid on. I just found that so fascinating. How? What else? What other variants are there? Is there a planet where oxygen is a liquid, liquid oxygen, is that falls from the sky, or is the, you know, there's no limit to what possibilities could be out there. And if there's liquid oxygen on planets and pools of that, what's growing in there? What life is in there? Oh, me bar! Me bar lemonade! Yeah, baby! Me bar lemonade! So yeah, we're gonna have a variety of people on soon. But that was the news about Titan. That's the news. Not really news, as it's not new things, but so thanks for joining us for our first broadcast. You've been a pleasure. You've been an absolute delight. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for the other broadcasts. They'll be coming in thick and fast. Don't tell me not, because they will, they will, they will. I'll see you all soon. Thank you, audience. Thank you so much. And this is just the beginning. Mark my words. This is just the beginning. Thank you. Come on! Yes! 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 Let's squat. Let's go. Let's move it.